Welcome back to Packs and Picks, everyone. I've got our second sealed pool here for Outlaws of Thunder Junction. I have put together a deck, so I'm going to walk you through some of my thoughts on the card pool and some of the decisions that I made in ultimately ending up with the deck that I ended up with. So let's dive right in. You can see here I got Oko, Thief of Crowns that I pulled out. This is one of our big hits from the pool, and just knowing how powerful Oko has been in Limited and in other constructed formats, he's where I went to first just to see if the rest of the pool could support a blue-green deck. So I'll lay out what that blue-green deck looks like here, and we'll talk about some of the thoughts that I had going through the deck build process. All right. Okay, so going back to Oko, 3-cost Planeswalker with 4 loyalty. He's got 2 uptick abilities, one that just gets you a food token, but the other one acts as a removal spell. So early on in the game, you're probably not going to upgrade someone's 1-drop into a 3/3 elk, but later on in the game, you can downgrade a huge flyer or a big mythic or rare that's really threatening the board. Also really like that it targets artifacts too, so if somebody's built around an artifact, you can remove that as well. Just a great option to have removal like this in the blue-green color pair. So really like Oko. That's why I wanted to try to see if we could build a deck around him, because he's just super powerful. Fortunately, we do have some other good cards in blue and green to help support us. So we got the Ornery Tumblewag here, which I really like. Comes in at a little bit below rate, but can quickly get out of hand with doubling those +1/+1 counters that it's starting to throw around, even if it's a little bit slow. We also have a couple good Sphinxes. So Stoic Sphinx here. 4-cost Flash Flying 5/3, really like that. We also have the Marauding Sphinx here at 5-cost 3/5 with Flying Vigilance Ward 2. Another one of the cards that I really like in blue-green is Make Your Own Luck. So 5 mana, look at the top 3 cards of your library. You can exile one of them plotted, and then you put the rest into your hand. So functionally, it's like a draw 3 spell, but you get to cast one of the 3 cards that you draw, assuming you draw a spell to cast. So I really like Make Your Own Luck for that reason, and one of the reasons why I think this blue-green build is pretty decent. And then as far as in our mana base, we do have an option to do a splash. So we had a few dual lands in the pool. We got Lonely Arroyo and Soured Springs, so we can do either a white or a black splash. In this build, I chose to do a white splash, so we can put Gem Lightfoot into the deck. So 3/3 Flying Vigilance, just another good airborne creature that we can use to get in some damage. And one of the reasons for that is one of the things that I think this build is lacking is some interaction. We do have a couple ways to interact. We've got the Phantom Interference here, which is a counter spell. But other than that, we don't have any of like the traditional fight effects that we see out of green. And that, I think, is one of the gaps of this blue-green build and why I wanted to see what else in the pool we could utilize. So keep this in mind. This is what we've got for our blue-green deck, but I do want to show you another option in the pool, a black-red build that I think could be viable if we want to give up on the Oko Dream. So I'll set that up right now, and we'll talk through kind of the other main option that we have for this build. We do get some pretty good cards by going into black and red. And we also get access to one of our pretty sweet rares as well. All right, so more or less, this is the black-red version of the build here. First off, one of the big hitters that we get access to by going into black and red is Calamity, Galloping Inferno. I've played against this card, and it is a huge beating, so definitely a threat that's worth putting in the deck and one to be respected in Limited. We also get just a ton of Outlaws in this version. I think almost every card here outside of these Wolverines is an Outlaw. Don't hold me to the coals on that one, but we got a lot of Outlaws in this deck. We also have a lot of ways to commit crimes with 2 Deadeye Duelists here. I like this as a 1/3 reach, can hold down the ground pretty well, and then also is just crimes on a stick, basically, which I really like there. And then we were missing some of the interaction in the blue-green version of the deck, which we do get more here. So we've got 2 copies of Desert's Dew. We've got an Imp's Mischief that can change the target of a spell. Terminal Agony here is another removal spell. But as you're looking here at the deck, you might notice we're a little bit light on playables in black and red. So this is where I think we would do a little bit of a splash. I'm not committed super much to any one splash, but we do have a Festering Gulch, or once again the Soured Springs, so we could do a blue or a green splash in this version. And I think I would go with the blue splash. We could bring in one of our rares like Satoru, or we could bring in one of the Slick Shot creatures from the blue-green deck, so something like the Slick Shot Lockpicker to buy back one of our spells, or a Slick Shot Vault Buster to take advantage of some of the crimes that we're committing in this deck. So I think I would splash for blue in this version of the deck. But what this one is missing, kind of like with the blue-green deck missing a piece, is there's not a lot of, I think, closeout ways of the game. We're really relying on Calamity here to close out the game for us, whereas in the blue-green version of the deck, we've got a lot of good flyers. We have that Spinewoods Armadillo. We also got Oko too, just dominating the board. So for that reason, I think I am going to stick with the blue-green version of the build just to have more of those impactful creatures that can help us close out the game, even though we're lacking some of that removal and interaction with our opponent. But let me know your thoughts down below in the comments. That's going to be it for our second sealed deck for Outlaws of Thunder Junction. Let me know your thoughts on the blue-green version of the build. Is there something else in the sealed pool that you like the look of better? And let me know your thoughts on the format overall as we go through the format. I'll see you in the next video very soon.